Alright, no one really asked for my opinion, but I kind of want to give my own, I guess, 2 cents. Pardon this. This is very last minute, and I don't feel like booting up OBS and trying to figure that stuff out again. But I wanted to kind of, where am I going? To kind of give my own 2 cents on the whole 3.0 stuff. Okay, third, yeah. But, first and foremost, there's a lot of people who are trying to dismiss everyone else's opinion. Well, not everyone else, but a big group's opinion on their issues with the story for Amphorius Part 1 by saying, oh, you're all just trying to rush it, you shouldn't rush it. And I wasn't rushing. A lot of us weren't. It took me about 4 days. 3 of them I did the story after work, and the second day I did it, it was my day off, and I played for about 5 hours, and it's like, I got other stuff to do. But pretty good crowd today. Let me turn this down a bit more. So the story starts off, I think, for what is shown at least in the opening, and yeah, cringe, I play in English in the English dub. So I have to deal with there not being very many, well, mostly just Don Hung, Here We Go, and Trailblazer. Which in this case they said it was scheduling issues, so it's whatever. I was able to, for the most part, to work around that. I understand. And given the voice actor's grief isn't going to solve anything. So just leave them alone, and especially as far as the strike goes, I'm fine being patient if it means the voice actors will be treated with a modicum of respect and human dignity to not have their voices stolen. But apart from that, I liked how it started. It had a very strong start. It felt very different from the other planets. And I'm trying to figure out where it mostly started to drag for me. I think it was where a lot of people feel it dragged was Castrum Crimnos. Because before that, it was kind of annoying just how much everything was dragging. Because it's just dialogue bloat. Because I can deal with a lot of dialogue. I love story-based RPGs. I watch and read One Piece. I will happily binge watch all the extended editions of The Hobbit, of Lord of the Rings. I love watching just big documentaries and video essays from people on YouTube. So I have no issues with something being long or having a lot of, dialogue or talking. Because in this case, there's a lot of talking because Amphorius isn't like other planets in the fact that they have their completely different belief system, which that can open up to some cool theories. So we're learning about all of that, which makes it understandable why there's going to be a lot of dialogue. I'm not going to use the word yapping because it's overused. And I'm sorry if I jump around a lot. Brain, ADD and all that. But again, I think it was mostly with Castrum Crimnos. Because I don't mind puzzles, and the puzzles they have, the idea behind them is interesting. They have some really interesting ideas, like using the little dudes platforming with the light, and you have to, in your past self could potentially kill you or something. So, interesting ideas. for what's there. It's just that when I hear I'm going into gladiatorial combat to potentially see the king, this isn't 5 or so chambers of puzzles isn't what comes to mind. A couple would be interesting with some, like, kind of tougher bosses, not the stragglers, because they got to the point where I was actively dodging people, and once we were able to just, attack things with the Hand of Zagreus, I was just bashing them with that. It was annoying. It was tedious. And that's not something you want your dialogue and your story to be when it's a story-based game. I'm trying to figure out, the best way I've been able to like explain it to myself is it feels as if they're writing this story, and it feels very similar to how it went with the Charmony Dove bit back in Penacony. Interesting setup, but drags on. So it feels as if they're writing the story as if they need a word count. Like they're trying to meet that word count by any means necessary, and it's not working in their favor whatsoever. It's hurting the experience. It's like, if there was still a 10-hour story but was better written, people pointed out the animations and all the black screens and all that, a lot of people just want to brush them to the side, but they are valid concerns, especially when Honkai is underperforming compared to Zenless Zone Zero, which I play as well, and Wuwa. I would try out Wuthering Waves, but my computer can't run it at the moment, so maybe I'll try it when I get my new computer sometime this year. But it's like, you guys have the money. You can do it. You can do good animations. Because, like, I'll say I'm a Zenless Zone Zero player. I don't care about the Gooner allegations if it means we have great animations, great story. Like 1.4, the recent story, which I can't wait to play tonight after I get this stuff done. The 1.4 story, I did beat it in one night, but not because I was trying to rush it, because I was enthralled by it. It was just action. It was great storytelling. My only issue was that, should I say, when you beat the person you beat, for those who don't play the game or haven't gotten to there, because a lot of new people have started playing, this character is Zhu Yuan. It was someone important to her. And the fact that we didn't get to hear anything from her after the story is my only complaint, I suppose, my only gripe. Apart from that, I think it was great. And then Harumasa's story was amazing. Harumasa is just a fantastically written character and pretty damn good, especially considering he's free. So again, I know people don't want others to rush through story, but then again, people play these things at their own pace. But the fact that I went through Zenless' story so fast is because I loved it. I wanted more. And for the story beats, or the story hooks more like that they have, like learning more about Amphorius, about the prophecy, the flame chasers, all that, and also trying to figure out what is going on with March. I personally think I know a lot of people are probably kind of agreeing she's from Amphorius or she's tied to it. I think it'd be cool if she's somehow an emanator of remembrance. But regardless, those things grabbed me and what were making me drag myself through the story. And I'll give them 3.1. But I need to leave something in the survey, because this can't continue, at least with how they're doing it. Because, like, I wouldn't recommend it at the moment. Because it's no fun trying to play through a story that is actively dragging. And just Cash on Criminals was just pain. They could have, like if they wanted to show off more puzzles, because the end one with the 5 swords, I think, was pretty good. It was interesting. Like, they could have had that still at the end, and, like, maybe just 2 more or whatever. Not, I felt like at least 5. And it would have been just fine. It wouldn't have felt as long as it did. Because, like, I don't really skip dialogue too much unless I'm just feeling annoyed, in which case I did. For example, in Aglaya's POV, there was that one councilwoman who was talking, is like, ma'am, I do not like the vibes you're putting out. I read your lines, I'm skipping you, and I'm trying to get through this story. Because if this continues, I will stop playing. I've done it before with a Hoyoverse game. I played Genshin starting from Klee's original banner, which may have been 1.0, but yeah, very, very early in the game. I stopped playing around kind of this time last year because I was just fed up. I didn't even really care to try to get through the Natlan story, which, however good it may have been, I just stopped caring. They didn't respect us. They still don't, to be honest. Natlan clashes with the rest of the world. Fontaine was able to kind of work the way it did because you can kind of fit steampunk in a lot of different settings because it's a very flexible genre. So Fontaine was still able to work and not fully clash with the rest of the world. Natlan, though, they have modernized electricity. The Archon has a super modern motorcycle with skimpy biker leathers, but I don't mind skimpy dress characters. This is a gacha game. It's gonna happen. It's to sell characters, it's to make money. It happens. But when it just doesn't fit, doesn't match with the rest of it, then that's a problem. And then Shilonen, I do love her design. Don't get me wrong. I love glamorous women, which is why I'm pulling for Astria and why I'm gonna get her. It's why, for the longest time, my big main, when I started, was Serval. Glamorous punk rock women, divas. I love them. They're my weakness. But it just doesn't... Her rollerblades don't really fit. Her DJ turntable does not fit. But I jumped ship because, again, I just stopped caring about them not caring about us. And I waited out. The last straw was that whole, 3 wishes for 3 years. I pretty much, I bided my time for my Welkin to run out, because I paid for it. I'm going to get my money's worth from it. Then I dumped all my wishes and quit the game, and I uninstalled it. And then, like, about a month after that, I kind of picked up Star Rail, because I was curious about it. That was when we saw Dr. Ratio for free. I heard good stuff about it, and I do like it. The world is, the entire, well, the universe or whatever that they've been making is very cool. I love character designs. We have plenty of powerful men. Love my man Boot Hill. So happy when I got him E6. And for the most part, the story as a whole is good. It's just that the delivery is questionable at times. The delivery and the execution. Like, whoever all did the writing for 2.7, keep them on board. Because it didn't feel like 2.7 dragged at all. But if this continues, I've done it before. I will do it again. You can make long stories. Just, you guys have the money for good animation. You can do it. If Genshin was able to do it, you can do it. If Zenless Zone Zero, who I am damn certain doesn't make near as much as Star Rail, and certainly not as much as Genshin, can have amazing animations. You guys can do it too. But no, everyone just wants to just say, oh no, it's fine the way it is. We shouldn't say anything. That's not how anything works to get better. A lot of people aren't complaining just for the sake of complaining. Some are, sure. But in this case, it's because we know it can be better because it has. The story hasn't always felt tedious and tiring. The story can be captivating. The world can be captivating. But I think that's kind of the most I wanted to talk about. I can't really remember. I should have wrote a little list. I don't want to have to quit the game, but if it's not going to respect our time for playing it, then I don't really have much else choice that I can say to actually make my voice be, anyone's voice be heard. That's what you do with a boycott. You don't boycott a game by continuing playing it. You have to tell them I'm at least quitting. I won't uninstall just yet, because I still have some hope. But it's no, if you continue, I'm going to quit, at the very least. Try and take a page out of Zenless's book, maybe even Wuwa's book, which I know that's not the same studio whatsoever, but you take inspiration, kind of, or you get a fire lit under your butt by your competition. And that's why we need competition in things like this. So things get better, so everyone can have, just a better time. Was that it? I guess my only other thing is I am not looking forward to building Mighty at all. I'm gonna get him as well, for sure, because he's the big character that caught my attention in the very first trailer we got. I hate fighting the Fei Xiao weekly fight. It's not fun. No matter what team I try, she's just annoying. Just not a fun fight whatsoever. The other fights before that, you could do stuff with it. I know people don't like Break, which the Sunday fight could be annoying, understandable. But it's I can never find my usual clear times with the Fei Xiao weekly fight is around 9 minutes. think that's about all I wanted to say. Trying to think if there's anything else off the top of my head, because something else might just jump at me. And again, sorry that this is kind of potato quality or whatever. It was spur of the moment that I was thinking of while I was at work. I guess maybe quick power creep talk, because it is it is bad. With the first Nikador fight, where it's when you first kind of caught a glimpse of Mighty, I wanted to kind of switch up, not always having to rely on my amazing Aventurine, because he's awesome. Love Aventurine as a character, and just thank God for your shield. So I was running Luocha, who is a terrific healer. He is a great healer. So it wasn't Remembrance just yet. So because we didn't have Remembrance MC at that point. I believe my team was Sunday, Luocha, Thirda, and God, who was the other one? It was Himiko. It was another Erudition. No, it was Jade, I think. I think it was Jade. Which Jade got absolutely absurd crit damage. I saw it in the 400s. And it took me 5 tries to get past that one, because Luocha just could not keep up with the healing. And the 5th time, I decided, all else fails, bet on Aventurine, and yeah, got through the fight, but it's not allowing for any flexibility for people. It's I want to use my boy Luocha, because after I got Aventurine, I kind of forgot about the other pretty blonde man. But no, I had to. Because we would all just die at the beginning of phase 2. Even with his field active. It was absurd. So something does need to be done, because yes, they do need to make money in selling these characters to keep the game running, but at some point it has to be addressed that you guys are just being, it's out of control. Like, I know there's, like, bringing back the thing with Cash from Criminals. There's a lot of people saying, thank God I have Acheron, because she could just one-shot everything thanks to her technique. I didn't pull Acheron because I just didn't really want her. My account needed Aventurine, which I was also able to get Luocha. So those two were godsends for my account, and I just like them. And I just, well, adore Aventurine's character, and he's amazingly voice acted. So it just happened to align with the fact that these two the two characters I liked, especially Aventurine, were meta. Were, I guess, in the case of Luocha. I don't know. I don't really pull for meta. And it's kind of creeping into the story a bit. It's peeking its ugly head in when it should just be staying in, like, Apocalyptic Shadow and Memory of Chaos. And again, yes, she's meta, but I wanted her because I love the witch aesthetic, and honestly, they made the ego work for her. So, I don't know, all I can really do is, like, mention stuff in the survey, and hopefully enough people, especially in China, because that's when they'll actually pay attention, bring it up, because it's only going to get worse if it's not addressed. Yeah, I think that was all I wanted to talk about while I kind of did my farming. I might try and do my relic grinding real quick. I don't know, because I'm trying to figure out what I should get for Mighty. But I think this is going to be enough to kind of get most of my points across. I probably jumped around a lot because that's just how my brain works. It can be annoying. Like, I also wanted to do a Dragon Age Veilguard video or something to cover my thoughts about it as a very long Dragon Age fan. But I would have to actually write little notes so I don't jump around, so I can be somewhat concise. But yeah, I think this is about it. Anything else, I don't know what I'll do, but this is like my main gripe, because I do like this game. I wouldn't have stuck with it if I didn't like it. And I do kind of like the farming stuff, because it actually gives me something to focus on, especially because I could spend the entire day like, oh my god, what should I play, and I never come to a conclusion of anything. So, like, the farming in this, and especially in Zenless, just lets me do something while playing a game. But yeah, it's whoever watched this, I appreciate your time. If you want to go ahead and, like, I guess leave a like or anything, that'd be appreciated. But yeah, if you found nothing wrong with the story, that's absolutely fine. Different folks, different strokes, and all that. But don't just push away all criticism as someone not rushing through, like, for someone just wanting to rush through the story just to rush through it. Because that isn't the case at all for many people. So just, like, be willing to hear everyone out, especially if they're not just going to be screaming, which I have calmed down a lot more about it. I was honestly just pissed off with all of it. But yeah, like, honest, just nice, considerate debate / dialogue is always welcome. But hope everyone is staying safe out there, and have a beautiful day / night. Bye-bye.